In this video, I'm going to show you how to layer iron-on, otherwise known as heat transfer vinyl. The first thing I need to do is remove the apron from the bag and unfold it, and then I'm going to measure the top part where I plan on putting my iron-on. The general rule of thumb when putting iron-on a t-shirt is to measure 3 inches down from the collar. So I'm applying that same principle to this apron and going 3 inches down from the top. And then once I find that spot 3 inches down, I'm measuring across, and then I can know how big to make my vinyl. Next thing I need to know is what the apron is made up of so that I know how to heat my easy press so that I'm using the right settings. Now in Design Space, I clicked on New Project, Text, and now I'm going to type in the text that I want, which is Golden Spoon Champion. A little background to this, my family loves to do cooking competitions, and we used to have a wooden spoon that had been spray painted gold, but it's gone missing. So I am making this apron to replace it, and I'm super excited to show my family. Okay, so right now I'm just quickly looking for a font that I like, and so I'm just going to take a minute to do that. Okay, this is the one. So now I'm going to click on Advanced and Ungroup to Lines. That way I can move the lines around exactly how I want them. And I'm going to change up the sizing a little bit too, so that it looks more blocky and just leaving enough space for a little spoon. As I size this, I'm trying to eyeball it to make sure that Golden and Champion are the same size. Now that I think I have it, I'm going to move each word so that I'm happy with the spacing between each line, and then click on Align and do a line left, and you can see that I got it almost perfectly matched up. Now I'm going to search for the spoon that I would like to use. Okay, I found the one that I like. It's time to place it and resize it. And then once I've done that, I'm going to show you how to use Cricut's newer feature, Offset. I'm going to attach all the words so everything is together and can't be moved if I accidentally click on something as I'm moving it around and resizing it. Okay, here is the offset feature. You can use that sliding scale to make the offset or the background bigger or smaller. You can see right here that I'm making the background smaller, and I'm just kind of playing around with it till I find what I like. Okay, I like that, so I clicked on Make It. One more thing of importance is to mirror all of the layers so that it reads correctly when we iron it on. And then I'm going to click on Continue. Now I'm going to select the material that I'm using, which is iron-on. One more quick note before we move over to the machine. When I cut out the spoon, I'm going to be doing it in glitter iron-on. So I'll need to change it, which I'm showing you here. I'll search for glitter and then click on glitter iron-on. I won't do that yet, but I will do that before I cut it. And now we can move over to the machine. Before I begin, I have to open this impossible package to get one of the little rolls of vinyl out of the packaging. Okay, here we go. First, I'm going to grab my standard grip mat and remove the clear plastic protectant sheet off the top. And then I am going to put this iron-on that I'm using on the mat, shiny side down, because again, I reversed the letters so that it reads correctly, and so it's that matte side that has to go down when I'm ready to apply it to the apron. So while that cuts, I'm going to start preparing the next layer so that I can get it onto the mat and going as quickly as possible. Now that I have the second layer cutting, I'm preparing the next layer, which is the glitter iron-on. So I'm using the Strong Grip mat, which is the purple mat, and I will be going over to my computer as soon as this is done cutting and changing it to glitter vinyl for the cut setting. Now we're going to take a peek into the Cricut heat guide. I am selecting the easy press I'm using, which is the Easy Press 2. Then I'll be selecting the type of iron-on I'm using, and then I'll select what I'm ironing it onto. Then you can see here at the bottom, it shows all of the settings that I need for a successful transfer. Before we start the iron-on transfer, we need to get the heat press all warmed up to where it needs to be, which is 330 degrees Fahrenheit. I'm going to use my Easy Press to iron out the apron really quick so it's a nice smooth surface. Now I need to weed off the excess iron-on that will not be being transferred onto the apron so that all we have left over is what we want on the apron. Now that I've got everything weeded, I am just trying to place the little spoon where it needs to go on the transfer sheet with the maroon color so that I can iron the spoon on at the same time I iron on the maroon layer. The last thing that needs to be done before you can apply the iron-on is heat up the fabric just a little bit. I'm going to do one more quick measurement to place the iron-on exactly where I want it. I'm trying to get it center as well as far enough down, following that 3-inch rule that I mentioned earlier. I'm going to put my Easy Press over top of the iron-on and let it sit for 30 seconds. Once it's done, I remove the Easy Press from the material. I let it cool, and then once it is cool to the touch, it's safe to peel that clear plastic backing off of the vinyl. Now it's time to do the next layer. I am placing the spoon because it's not sticking to the transfer, and then I am going to make sure that this maroon layer is lined up really well on top of the tan layer, and then I'm going to repeat the same steps that I followed with the tan layer. One added step that I'm doing here that I didn't do on the tan layer is I'm flipping the apron over and letting the easy press sit for 15 seconds on the back side and then letting it cool. Pro tip that I came up with is using a cold soda can as a cooling mechanism to help that iron-on cool down faster. It worked like a charm. Thanks for watching this video. Please don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe so you don't miss the next one. If you have questions, please be sure to comment. See you next time.